Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jennifer Meckles.
And I'm Kim Christensen. Central City is the center of controversy tonight after the mayor proposed relaxing city ordinances to allow strip clubs and other adult entertainment.
9 News reporter Ria Jha joins us from Central City tonight, where the city council is meeting this evening. Ria.
Right, this proposition wasn't even on the city council's agenda tonight, but people still showed up for public comment to speak out against this. So that proposition would essentially turn this building right behind me into a steakhouse strip club. And it is right at the front of their main street. So people were speaking out against this. We spoke with the mayor about the proposition, and who is the main proponent of this plan that would relax city ordinances to allow sexually oriented businesses, also known as SOBs. He told us that RCI Hospitality Holdings is the company that came to them with this plan, and the city said yes a few years back, and they're now facing challenges changing that city's ordinance. People at city council who spoke out against it said this kind of establishment isn't right for the city, especially for their main street downtown. On the other hand, the mayor says this will boost the economy and help revitalize the city for future projects.
We're looking to develop that into a hotel, resort, casino, and those types of developers want to see a vibrant, full Main Street. They don't want to see empty buildings.
I understand at a meeting it was estimated that 600,000 may be gained by Central City. Really? Is that all worth the trouble that it comes with?
Why a strip club? Rather than just, if you wanted to have a fine dining experience, I understand, but I'm just curious, why a strip club?
The CEO of RCI Holdings said the only way for people to come in from Blackhawk into Central City is this strip club. It would be the first strip club not only for this city, but the whole gambling district. Reporting live in Central City, Ria Jha, 9 News.
It was a great day to get outside. Now we are 2 days into July and we have yet to hit 90. How about that? 2 whole days. And while we avoided serious storms again today, we may not be so lucky out east tomorrow. Let's get to Lauren Robinson for more on what expect Wednesday. We expect Wednesday.
Yeah, well, we will see more storm chances out east tomorrow, just like you said, but across the Front Range and the rest of the state, we're going to stay pretty dry, at least over the next few days, and that does lead into the 4th of July. Now, as we monitor our HD Doppler radar, you can see all of this moisture coming in from the southwest and this line of storms behind it. This will be clipping the southeastern corner of Colorado, giving some storm chances here, but across the rest of the state, we're going to be pretty dry. Even some of these storms to the southeast will be pretty isolated. Can't rule out a couple of stronger storms as we go through the rest of the evening, but a lot of them are just like this, just some light rain showers, a couple of lightning bolts. As we move through the rest of my 7-day forecast, we're going to talk more about our mostly dry and mild evening tonight. We will have those eastern storms on deck for tomorrow, and our 4th of July is looking perfect. I'll have those details for you in my full forecast just ahead.
2 former funeral home directors who sold body parts will get new sentences now for their convictions. An appeals court ruled today Megan Hess and her mom Shirley Koch should be resentenced. They pleaded guilty to mail fraud. Instead of cremating the bodies of people's loved ones, they were accused of harvesting body parts and selling them. This involved hundreds of bodies between 2010 and 2018. Hess was sentenced to 20 years in prison. Her mom got 15 years. Hess's attorney argued she needs to be resentenced because the court didn't consider what services she actually did provide, like headstones and death certificates. The appeals court agreed and says they now will need to be resentenced.
Today, the Arapahoe County Coroner's Office identified a woman found dead in a burning house the day before, though the Coroner's Office did not specify how she died. Neighbors called 911 Monday morning to report smoke coming from the roof of a home off North Berkshire Court in Watkins. Fire crews found Simone Austin dead inside. The cause of her death and the fire remain under investigation.
A man who started a house fire in Green Valley Ranch that killed 5 members of one family is now headed to prison. Today, a judge sentenced Kevin Bowie to 60 years. He was 16 years old back in August of 2020 when he and 2 others, Gavin Seymour and Dylan Siebert, set fire to this house. Prosecutors say Bowie was seeking revenge on someone who stole his iPhone. He traced the phone to a home, plotted for months to burn it down with his friends. Turned out they targeted the wrong house. The fire they started killed a family, 3 adults, a 22-month-old and a 7-month-old who were all sleeping inside. Amadou Bey lost his wife and child in that fire. He does not think Bowie's sentence is strong enough.
This is not justice, and I'm not grateful for the justice, but I will respect it. I just want him to suffer for the rest of his life, and if he get a chance to die hard, to do so.
The other two defendants, Seymour and Siebert, have already been sentenced. Seymour got 40 years in prison. Siebert was just 14 years old at the time of the crime. He got 7 years in youth corrections.
A tattoo shop in Denver that was targeted in a mass shooting spree is now closed. Soul Tribe Tattoo and Piercing on Broadway shut its doors for good yesterday. In December of 2021, a gunman went into the shop and shot Jimmy Maldonado, his wife Alyssa Gunn Maldonado, and his best friend Alicia Cardenas. Alyssa and Alicia died. Jimmy returned and went to work at the shop.
You can be a victim and just be bitter and angry, or, you can just do the opposite and just try to do your best to just evolve and grow and not be like that.
Jimmy still has a bullet in his back and hopes to have surgery later this summer to get it removed. He decided to leave Soul Tribe last month. On Friday, he'll open his own piercing shop inside Wolf and Goat Tattoo in Denver.
Let me see your hand! Do it! I'm gonna shoot you right now! Don't move!
A police officer's body camera captured every word of his threats to shoot a man suspected of firing into cars and homes during the man's arrest last December.
Prosecutors say that body camera video gave them no choice but to offer a plea deal in this case. 9 News Investigates reporter Kevin Vaughn was in court today for that man's sentencing.
We have a number of cases to call this afternoon.
In a fifth-floor courtroom,
We'll start with 23 CR 3232.
a 19-year-old faced the consequences of this night.
15, everybody get up here, he's running.
The night he tried to steal 2 cars.
15, I got him at gunpoint. Don't move! Don't move!
The night he fired 8 gunshots.
It's only by the grace of God that no one was killed or injured.
This video is a big part of the reason.
I'm gonna blow your brains out if you move, you don't move!
The reason why prosecutors okayed a plea deal.
I will shoot you, man! Don't move! I ain't with you!
Any jury listening to this would be turned off.
Ed Obayashi is a national expert in police use of force.
It's a type of conduct, especially in this day and age, that the public does not want to hear or see.
And Obayashi's not alone.
Abhorrent, problematic.
That's Jefferson County District Attorney Alexis King, whose office prosecuted the case.
I've never seen a body-worn camera quite like that.
The officer in that video is Paul Perez, and 9 News Investigates found this wasn't the first time his gun and his mouth got him in trouble.
Yeah, you want to call and I'll call on you. Hook.
Right. In 2019, Perez was a Boulder County Sheriff's deputy aiming his gun at a man he thought was physically ill.
Open the door with your left hand.
But documents show Perez had no articulable reason to justify the use of force. Obayashi agrees.
Someone being passed out is really a welfare check, not a crime in progress.
Just arrest me.
Then there was this confrontation.
Oh my God. Frank,
don't start reaching in your pockets. Do not start reaching in your pockets. I'll shoot you where you stand, partner.
With Perez holding his handgun in a sideways manner, gangster style.
Just unnecessary bravado.
During that Boulder investigation, Perez said it was his philosophy that to de-escalate a situation, he must escalate his use of force. A division chief fired Perez in August 2019. 5 months later, Edgewater PD hired him. Now another internal investigation, this time over his handling of 3 cases, including this one, the one we showed you at the start.
I'm gonna blow your brains out if you move, you.
Do you remember the first time you saw it?
Yes, I do.
Do you remember your reaction?
I was horrified.
A video troubling for the language and the threats, and for the moment Perez pressed his pistol to the back of the man's head.
His decision to hold a gun to that man's head was not okay.
It's improper, it's unsafe.
Officer Perez and Edgewater Police Chief Eric Sonstegard declined our requests for on-camera interviews, but the chief defended his officer, writing that he was disciplined and that he and all officers deserve help when they experience ups and downs.
You'll be out into the community soon.
In that 5th-floor courtroom, the suspect also got another chance. 3 years in an intensive community corrections program, along with treatment, and the hope he'll be rehabilitated.
Sir, best of luck to you in the future.
The Edgewater chief issued Officer Perez a written reprimand and ordered him to undergo additional training and see the department's psychologist. He also took away Officer Perez's status as a field training officer for a year.
That body camera video.
Yeah, the video and his words.
The body cam in this case illustrates how body cam in general has changed everything. 20 years ago, it would have been this suspect's word against the officer's word, and there would have been no evidence to judge what actually happened. Now we can watch and, as you said, hear what actually happens in these interactions.
And interesting, I'd be curious what may have happened with the suspect's case had this not been a component, if it just would have rested on the details of that case. But now you've got the conduct of an officer weighing into how a suspect is sentenced. So,
and there were some other problems too. They didn't collect some evidence they should have. They didn't process some evidence. There were a lot of problems with this case.
It's an interesting one, an interesting point, and there's a history there too. So thank you for telling us that whole thing.
There is, and we have a lot more at 9news.com.
Thanks, Kevin.